let's play the intro Chris Jackson wants. Because Chris Jackson's like, hey, do you like anime, CDP? And CDP's like, I pretend to. Wonder what this says. Man, that guy put way too much work into that. There's like 500 pictures. What's this? Did money come in? Play the money drop. Super tip money. Thank you, Jim Jerome. He didn't leave a comment though, apparently. Let's see, can we move it around? Not us. Move the super tip. Oh, you can move it around. Isn't that cool? Thank you, Jim Thompson. Now we're rich, and we did this all for money. Dirty, filthy money. Yeah! What Discord account? I ran away from Discord because all I do is crash out. The Gen Zers on Discord are like, hey, CDP, how's it going? And then he's like, hey, why don't we get to the first segment of the show? This is our dear friend Kennedy Hall. Oh, sorry. I love this so much.
And there's a reason for it.
Oh, yes. Kennedy Hall was started off the show being, gotta get serious, man. Well, there's a reason for things. Mere SSPX influencer, yay! There's no mods here. This is a retarded channel with Muppets. There's literally no mods here, and I'm literally not on Discord with anyone anymore. John the Fool has his own channel that he stole from us, but that's because I deleted the other one because I was crashing out. Kennedy Hall, take it away.
But I'm going to talk about, I guess you could say psychologically, in a way, what drew me to the Society of St. Pius X at the beginning, and why, as things progress, why I consistently still support them.
So, we're going to do another episode, 7,000 episodes in, as to why Kennedy Hall is doing the SSPX still. It's as if Kennedy Hall does the same exact episode every single month. It's like, am I still part of the SSPX? Oh, let me think about it. Oh, maybe. Anyway, I'm not going into my family life, but let me tell you about my family life. Yes, he left the Pelican because it didn't give him enough money. That's why we have none.
Like many millennials, I am from a family of divorce. And I'm not going to go into my personal family life because that's not the point here, but that's just the fact that has.
Wow, okay. So out of respect for Kennedy Hall talking about his divorced family life for 40 minutes. He talked about it for like 40 minutes. Like, oh man, Manuna. Oh man. Why would you do this? Hey husband, what are you making a video about today? The whole chicken that you ate? He's like, no, I want to talk about my family again. We're your family, husband. No, my other family, the Italian one. But Kennedy, you always talk about it and it's always so depressing. Ah.
What does this have to do with the Society of St. Pius X? Well,
yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, so when does the content start? Because we're skipping his life story.
So I'm like, oh, I'll just go back in order. I'm like, oh, Vatican I. Oh, this is pretty cool. I'm like, whoa. This council seems a lot different than this other one.
Whoa, this council seems different. Whoa, no. This is like someone who first discovered you could change channels on television. Whoa, it's not Turner Classic Movies every single day. What? Sports are on? What?
I'm like, whoa. This is getting deep.
Whoa, it's deep, man. And this is Sadie P crashing out while clipping this. Oh, he's still talking about himself. So did you know that Costco is different from Walmart? Whoa, so deep, man. Did you know pencils are not pens? And pens don't have erasers? He is, but like, he pretends he's not, and he pretends he's open-minded because otherwise people might not like him. And if you're not being liked, why are you doing content?
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I've heard there's other catechisms, so I'm going to go read some of those ones. So I find, the Roman Catechism. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. This one's kind of different than this new one. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just like this old council is really different from this new one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then I figured out that there was this thing called the crisis in the church. Which was never on my radar. Whoa, 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 whoa. No. And I couldn't make sense of it.
This is why I said he should not edit at 1 a.m. while texting people. That's what he brings up. Whoa, I gotta watch it again. This is my favorite part of the whole show today.
Well, it was really different from this new one.
No, I want to go back further.
Those ones. So I find, the Roman Catechism. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. This one's kind of different than this new one. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just like this old council is really different from this new one.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then I figured out that there was this thing called the crisis in the church. Which was never on my radar. Whoa, 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 whoa. No. And I couldn't make sense of it.
And then one day, Kennedy Hall was working his job as a Catholic school teacher, and they were like, "You're a Pharisee." And he's like, "What? Why would you ever call me a Pharisee? That's the P word. We don't use it." By the way, this is a video he made in this week. Oh, there was a crisis? What? What? Ah! And then I walked outside and boom! Oh, sunlight! Oh, that's how the world works. Oh.
Like, I remember one thing that to me seems so obvious. You know, everybody in the sort of conservative Novus Ordo world loves Therese of Lisieux or Padre Pio. Great, wonderful saints. And I'm like, hey guys, what if we went to mass like them? And it would just like, that's where it would stop. I'm like, wait, why are you ignoring me? Or why are you starting to use words like Pharisee or
why are you using words like Pharisee, man? Not cool.
are you ignoring me? Or why are you starting to use words like Pharisee or schism?
Like, so you're trying to tell me Kennedy Hall, when he was a Catholic school teacher, was like, whoa, man, watch it with the Pharisee. There's no way this is real. No. And this is the Murray Renda School of Acting. Yay! He was.
And I'll always remember that moment. I will always remember that moment. It was one of many moments, but I'll always remember that. Because I thought to myself, wow.
Oh, or we could remix it.
Wow. And I'll always remember that moment. Wow. I will always remember that moment. Wow. It was one of many moments. Wow. I'll always remember that. Wow. Because I thought to myself, wow. You don't care. Wow. If the students, wow, lose their souls. Wow.
Now you know why Sandy Picanti does not have a social life, because this is the things he likes. Anyway, wow. And I was like, whoa, you're the guy that just committed horrible blasphemies and sacrilege? Might not like puppies. So here's a minute clip of Kennedy Hall being spiritual abused by the Novus Ordo. Yay! Hooray for spiritual oh wait, no, that's bad. Boo!
Because I was reading Cardinal Ratzinger and all these men, and they're like, we can't have a hermeneutic of rupture.
Ooh.
We must have a hermeneutic of continuity. And I'm like, okay, but there was a rupture. There was a rupture. That rupture was a divorce.
Oh no! And we just spent 30 minutes of the show talking about how he was divorced. Oh no! Is the divorce back? The D word! Don't say the D word!
And then I started to see the same characteristics of all of the prelates. Because when you assess the actions of parents who try to justify their rupture, which is their divorce, they start to blame everything else. They start to explain, well, you know, whatever. We got divorced because we had to, because it was time, because it was better for you guys in the end, or whatever. Or there was pressures, or...
So, like, if you're like, hey, guys, divorce is bad, no divorce. And then you're like, hey, Vatican II was like a divorce. Shouldn't you say, no, Vatican II, come on, Kennedy, you know you can say it.
Or, you know, we still love you and all these things. Fine. And it was the same thing in the church. It's like, well,
what do you guys say about yourself?
You know, whatever the reasons were. We know we had to embrace modern man.
And this clip before time versus after time. What? Thanks for the description, Sandy P. That helps exactly no one.
It's a divorce.
Yeah.
It's a schism.
Yeah.
Like a schism already happened. A schism between the before time and the after time took place.
A schism between the before time and the after time. This guy's a professional content creator, by the way. Oh, this is the before minute, and then after that one comes the after minute. You see, kids, you have to. I can't do this. Hi, I'm Kennedy Hall, and use of English escapes me.
And
Let's watch it again.
it's a divorce.
Yeah. Is it the before divorce or the after divorce?
It's a schism. Like a schism already happened. A schism between the before time and the after time took place. And those who have tried to justify it as not being a schism just keep throwing gas on the fire.
Yeah, SSPX is on the daddy team.
So I'm going to finally get to my final point here.
Yeah, right. It's been 45 minutes in the video, you monkey. You're like, oh, divorce is bad. Hey, did you know that divorce is bad? No. Oh.
When I discovered Archbishop Lefebvre.
Yes. Archbishop Lefebvre was my daddy. Yay!
I discovered the father.
He literally says it. The SSPX is true because Archbishop Lefebvre is my daddy. Okay. No Pope because the Pope is like divorce.
When I found that beautiful man and his beautiful life, it was like, as I said earlier,
yeah, but it wasn't embarrassing if you sat through 45 minutes of him talking about divorce and reading books, okay? Okay?
how I would find these kind of like surrogate fathers.
There's no electricity in Idaho. Get this guy out of here! Come on! No, he's just emotionally needy.
It's not about him. It's about the children.
Oh, protect the babies!
And he will suffer anything so that his kids don't have to suffer more than they've already had to because of the harm that's been done for them. He was like a savior.
Yeah, Archbishop Lefebvre was not only daddy, he was savior. Welcome to the SSPX trying to nuke themselves before the consecrations. Yay! Therefore, the SSPX have a right to make bishops. By the way, we should say this between everything. He was my daddy. Therefore, the SSPX have a right to make bishops. He was like a savior. Therefore, the SSPX have a right to make bishops. What is this?
When I realized that about that man, just viscerally as a father, and as a father who grew up in the schism of divorce, I knew that he was not a schismatic. I knew that he was the opposite.
He was married?
I knew that the schism had already taken place, and he was there saving the kids who were left to die at sea.
Oh. Look seriously at the camera. It helps your content. No. Yeah, essentially, he's a Lefebvre Scientific Business Evident. Now, we were going to play some Saphodemus on Bitcoin, but then we decided not to. Okay. Now, I don't want to do I Miss Christianity. Where's Mir? Two cities, there we go. Two cities, one king, and everything the government does is good. Welcome to the second segment. Hardly. Marcel Lefebvre was like, French and stuff, and the documents were written in English. Traditionalistic economics in one fallacy. Yes, Christine, don't you know? The church started with Archbishop Lefebvre, and it's going to get worse when we look at I Miss Christianity's post.
what I've called traditionalist economics, which is to say economics informed by the principles of Catholic social doctrine and classical philosophy, with particular attention to how they were instantiated in.
Oh, look at there they are. They're all angry. I love this background. I'm so dumb. I don't know why I don't use the backgrounds always. Pose dumb sede picante. So the traditional economics, the way Chesterton talks about it, boring. Let's watch it.
Christian civilization. An economics that recognizes the common good, not merely the private goods, and therefore the civil authorities' duty to render distributive justice in the economy.
Yeah, distributive justice. That's like when Pope Francis says, give all your money to immigrants. Okay. So Grandpa's going to begin by ignoring Catholic economics and going straight to Adam Smith. Yes. Hi, this is a show where we talk about only Catholic stuff. So Martin Luther, man, boy, that man boils my butter. Watch this. Is this more money? Did more money come in? Play the drum.
ありがとう、やありがとう、やった。お給料ありがとう、お給料ありがとう。ありがとう、やありがとう、やった。お給料ありがとう、お給料ありがとう。
Play the, oh, not play the drop again. Oh, we gotta play this because Jerome's been, wait, is it playing yet? Oh yeah, there we go. Gotta push the other button. Gotta move it up, get the OBS up. Move it up, there we go. Kennedy, thank you for the 50 bomb. Kennedy, the SSPX choppers are open, are they not? Get him, Miss Happy Prod. All right, Jerome. I think Jerome's also downloading all my content so he can watch it on repeat because I keep seeing his comments all the time. Very funny behavior. But thank you, Jerome. Without you, my dad would wonder what I was doing with my life. Back to the show. So, Grandpa, yeah, okay.
Well, let me begin by saying that a lot of the discussion of traditional Catholic economic morality will make no sense unless we put the whole economy in its proper place in the first place. Since the 18th century, and well, it started before Adam Smith, but he was the one who probably articulated it the best. Starting with Adam Smith, the economy has often been seen, usually seen, as a separate kind of activity, human activity, which is subject to its own laws, not part of the general social order, not part of human society as a whole, but a separate thing that somehow just sits there and does its thing while everybody else does something else. Excuse me.
Yeah, sure. Why did we clip this again? Hey, ZDP, I know you love economics and all, but this is the most boring crap ever. I haven't finished.
This is, of course, wrong, and contrary not just to the church's understanding of economics, but to the whole classical. If you go back to Aristotle, for example, and you look at the way they conceived of the economy, it was like any other human activity. It needed to be subordinated to the common good.
Yeah. The economics needs to be subordinated to the gay and big countries like Donald Trump. Can economics be not subordinated to the common good?
Yeah, that's when you make money for yourself. Don't make money for yourself.
But I need the money so I can live to feed my family.
No, you don't get to make money for yourself.
Oh, I only get to talk to people on the internet about Aristotle and economics and Adam Smith. Does he know that there's people between Aristotle and Adam Smith and now? Anyway, we want to cover this because we love talking about economics on this channel. Well, it's riveting, I know. At this rate, everyone's going to stop watching. Now let's move on to buying and selling. I promise there's no reason to do this. You guys can all come back in 20 minutes for the next segment if you want.
We might say, okay, when we talk about buying and selling, are we simply talking about the seller trying to make as much money as he can?
Are we talking about the seller trying to make as much money as he can? Well, what if we talked about the opposite? Oh, I want you to take all my apples and I'll pay you. And the guy's like, okay, why? You're like, because I don't want to make money, man. Making money is gay. Oh. Welcome to Retards Doing Economics. Of course you want to make as much money as you can. You got to feed yourself and buy more apples. You just don't make too much money because then you won't sell enough apples.
By his product, because that's what if you lose economic activity from its relationship with the common good, what's left? Well, it's my own individual desires, just like with sexuality. If you lose,
just like with sexuality, yeah. Because there's no nature to sexuality. It's not like I'm a boy and I'm a girl. He's like, no, you're not. It's whatever you want it to be. Just like buying and selling. Oh, wait. Buying begins with a B. Let's draw that in. Get the epic pen. B for buying. And it equals boy. It's like the same word. And S for selling. And that's like slimy. It's what women are. Yeah. That's not what women are. Get that off the screen.
its connection with the common good, what you have left, you have your own individual desires. So in the economic matters, the individual desires are generally to get as rich as you can. And
doesn't literally every single person in the entire world want to be as rich as they can? Even in spiritual matters, that's why it says, store up for yourselves treasure in heaven. No, I don't want treasure in heaven. Treasure's capitalism. I want like cigars and alcohol in heaven. Get rid of that treasure stuff. Weirdos.
Charge as much as you can. So pricing has become divorced from any relationship with either the amount of work that goes into the
So this is the point why SSPX is so angry. Hey, the price is related to the amount of work that goes into this. You know, SSPX usually spends over 10 hours per each show. The shows are worth nothing. Absolutely nothing until Jerome and that Thompson guy show up, and that's worth lots of money. But like, seriously, is this show worth something? No, worth nothing. You give what you want to give, and if you don't want to give, you don't give. Okay. Wow! I know! My hair's really long! And all the boys come to the yard to look at it! What about service-based resources in heaven? Don't know. We'll get to that one day.
particular product or with the intrinsic value of the other product or anything else like that.
What price? Just price! How much just? How long do I have to pay this price? Just long enough. When do I get it? Just soon enough. Oh, wow. Look at our viewer count has dropped to 23. Yes, we will win the war against the viewers. They will all leave.
But when we look at the just price, we say, okay, I'm selling you something.
Okay.
How can we determine what it's worth? Well, one way, there are really two ways, but they jive with each other. They really end up essentially saying the same thing. One is the amount of labor and the amount of products, for example, that goes into producing a particular thing. If I make you a statue out of gold.
His example is, okay. I'm going to make you a statue out of gold. Why don't you make me a statue out of hamburger buns? Is it going to be really cheap? Because hamburger buns are cheap. And he's like, here, let me make an example where I'm using one of the most expensive items on the planet. Obviously, because it's expensive, you idiot. By the way, Sandy Picante, watch this because chicken, send it to him. So now he wants to torture everybody else. This guy's familiar with the jive. Oh, you mean Santa
And
Claus?
gold being a more costly item than, say, wood or iron, then I'm obviously going to have to charge you more for the statue.
So if I make a statue with more expensive items because that's called a cost, then I'm going to have to charge you more because that's called a cost. And then the price goes up because the price and the cost are the same thing, but the other person's paying. Wow! Catholic economics! Why didn't you tell them not to buy the statue? Because it's stupid! There we go. I saved you all the problem. Don't buy the statue. It's dumb. Okay, next.
Made out of gold than it would out of wood or iron or tin, because it would cost me more to get the gold. And then there's the skill that goes into the
You know that taking care of horses is a really hard skill? They make no money.
working of the thing, the amount of labor, like what St. Columbus called it, stipendium laboris, the wage of the labor, the price of the labor, the reward of the labor. And then, but this is a little bit abstract because we often don't even know the amount of labor that goes into something. So in the Middle Ages, there was the idea of common estimation, communis estimatio.
Advertising is a mortal sin. Wow! Now we're getting to some real good content. So the reason we played the other clip is because this guy's an idiot and we wanted you to know about it. Just like we play everything on this show. Anyway, that's what Two Cities podcast is like. Why don't we invite someone who's boring? And he'll be like, I'll be boring on the show. Wow. This is going to come in later when we get to Dan McCall, the Pious Pelican Plus CEO.
And hence, we have the phenomenon of advertising, where now if people are hungry, they'll generally know, I'm hungry.
So if you didn't know, when you're hungry, you'll be aware of that you're hungry. That's why we call it If You're Hungry. This is a podcast made by this guy who's a friend of Stephen Cox. We disavow him. Sorry, we're having too much fun tonight.
I need to buy some food or grow some food. I need to get some food.
Wait, I'm going to grow some food because I'm hungry. Okay, excuse me, economist guy. Do you know how long food takes to grow? Is this a video game? Hey, I'm hungry. I'm going to grow me a meatball sandwich. Ding! Oh, look, a meatball sandwich. Thanks, alchemy. Yay!
I'm thirsty. I'll go and look for a glass of wine or whatever. But advertising is trying to convince people to buy something that they don't even know they need.
Advertising is here to make me buy something I don't even know I need. Well, then why would I care if I didn't need it? Wow! Because it's fantastic. Did you know computers, you don't actually need them. You don't need to do this show right now. You don't need to be in the comments right now. But we advertised it, so just in case you had nothing to do tonight, you would be here being tortured by me. Yay! Yeah, I'm thirsty. I'll grow a fish. That's right. Or a bottle of wine. Is F? F. Okay there, buddy. F.
And they probably don't need it. But the seller is going to try to convince people that they do need it.
Yeah! Did you know advertising costs money? And money are a cost. And so that goes into the price. And that's why you do it. It's a calculated risk.
But this guy's like, oh, did you want a smartphone? You don't need that. Traditional economics, integralism, Chesterton.
Have I been annoying enough yet?
And in up to the 18th century, in Catholic countries, that kind of advertising was illegal. It was outlawed.
Chicken, that shows from Evangelion. Hum koku, natenu shino itamoni, yoko bueno, doshino wani name. Ahem. By the way, if there is advertising, by the way, this guy says, then there's no market calculation. You can't even add costs to products because you advertised for them. It distorts the market. Did they know the internet exists? These men are doing an economic model that is over 30 years outdated. As in, it is stupid. Welcome to Catholic content in 2026. Did you know these guys don't even know that computers exist and you don't need them? But they're going to talk about things anyway because welcome to Catholic content. We're being stupid. Gets you views. Yay!
Anyway, so when you have capitalism,
Boop, we have a flying accusation of heresy to make. I'm looking forward to this. What? Advertising caused me to buy a late night infomercial VHS set about magic in college. Advertising a mortal sin. Who are you, that Column guy? Selling Magic the Gathering cards.
like that, then you have, well, it puts the whole economy on kilter. You can no longer talk about prices or wages or anything else as being integrated into processes of the common good.
You can talk about price, buying and selling integrated as processes of the common good if someone's using advertisement, because people are stupid and only me, the philosopher, knows anything.
But rather, each process tends to stand alone and be judged by its own laws. So people will say, "Oh, you can't."
Yeah, it's all judged by one law. It's called praxeology. Damn, I mean, you wonderful old man.
Put a limit on profits because that will stifle innovation, or that will do something bad, or that will lead to communism or something like that. But that's because people are looking at prices as a separate item rather than as a merely as part of of the whole economic and social good.
Prices are a social good now. Everybody in the chat, you have to pay me in comments because everything is a price for the social good of the common good or the podcasting good, because G.K. Chesterton and Hilaire Belloc and Adam Smith and Aristotle and alcohol. But we don't have any alcohol tonight because we took ibuprofen, so we are sad. I'm on the road again. Going places that I've never been. I should
Which is what human society is all about.
Theo can't be older than me and I'm 40. Is Christine's boyfriend on Christine's account? What? Hi, Christine's boyfriend. Why don't you hurry up and marry her so she stops hanging out with us on Twitter?
Yes, it seems that it's always returning to the Catholic understanding of a good or service having objective value.
Yeah, I would like to say this show has $100,050 of objective value, and if you don't give it to me, immediately all of you are committing social injustice against the distributive good of the common good of the equity in Chesterton. Oh, Pius the 14th.
Versus various abstract and circumstantial attempts to profit from particular conditions.
Wow, did you know people like to profit from particular conditions like spring? Wow, it's incredible! The utopia our host describes is already outdated because of the smartphones and Amazon.
This is something that Dr. Alan Phimister has pointed out with a future Christian legislative program. We can just permit ourselves to dream that he...
So in the future program, if you advertise and you don't have the product, then you go to jail. Does he know warehouses exist with mail?
Like this British guy's like, no, I went out into the street and I had to walk. Walking is like the common good. Yes, you're like,
no, it's just what you do. Just shut up. No.
You proposed that all commercial advertisements outside of commercial premises or markets in which the goods advertised are sold should be forbidden and punishable by law.
Yeah, so if you advertise that 3 miles down the road there's a hamburger stand, go to jail. But, you know, if I was hungry and I needed to look for a place to eat, and I said, oh my goodness, 3 miles? I am driving in the car. That's where I want to go. Oh, go to jail. Oh, look at, is there gas up at, oh, was it over the gas where the advertisement is? Go to jail. Like, what about the nanny states? Oh, I hate clothes. Clothes are evil. Go to jail. Oh, I hate things. Oh, that hatred is for the common good. Yes. I don't know. This is the Two Cities podcast. When they tried to follow me on Twitter, I blocked them. Because we like to go to war with integralists. Drive safe. For the common good.
Future Christian state.
Oh, black screen. Wow.
Avarice, I should say. So it's interesting that modern economics, taking its cue from Smith.
Modern economics taking its cue from Smith. Not Ricardo or Marx, by the way. From Smith. You mean the guy who lived like 200 years ago? Not from Keynes, not from MNT, not from the Keynesians, not from the Chicago School of Economics, not from the Austrians, not from the School of Salamanca. No, there's one guy that I did one book report on one time 100 years ago. Thanks, Santa. Don't you love crashing out? Just read Thomas Sowell. You'll get better economics.
As
all technology is a mortal sin.
if we didn't have these rich capitalists, we wouldn't have.
I would like to say that this podcast is worth $70,000 over the next 6 months. You better all pay me, or else you'll be attacking the common good of soy milk. I think. What? Don't go around posting other people's money. That's rude. You should never post $60,000 from Pi's Pelican, because what if it's real and then other people are going to gossip about his money? And that doesn't help the common good to talk about $60,000. That's just rude. That's what that is. It's just rude.
Smartphones, for example. And how could we possibly exist without smartphones? I mean, before smartphones, people lived in caves and they drank cold water.
Before smartphones, people lived in caves. You realize what you're doing is akin to a smartphone right now, doofus brains. Oatmeal for brains! What do you think you're doing right now?
Oh, this isn't a camera. This is the beacon of truth coming out through my mouth into the microphone.
There was nothing. It's really crazy when some device that's invented 10, 15 years ago is suddenly seen as absolutely essential for human life and human culture and human intellectual activity.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. So why don't we use some more non-economic thinkers about the basic of economics? Man, this clip blows. I mean, it's very fun.
Is it Chesterton or Belloc who discusses the distinction between a tool, which is godly, and then a machine?
Did you know someone who's not an economist was like, yeah, I think this tool is godly. Allow me to apply this godliness to the back of your brain. Pacow! Dial M for Chesterton. Yay! What? He made cold water and then he grew fish.
And the sort of qualitative difference that's occurred there. There's something about the machine that is disproportionate to human nature, that has its own sort of will to power almost within it, much more dangerous.
Yes, the will to power called a computer, you doofus. Ah! Like I got just a camera on me, Things I don't like are the will to power. Things that I like, they're amazing and they're sent from God. Now I gotta play a clip.
Trust me, I know. I raised all four of my children in the Novus Ordo, and all four left before the age of 23.
Hey, that's I miss Christianity. How many of his kids left the Novus Ordo and became atheists?
Trust me, I know. I raised all four of my children in the Novus Ordo, and all four left before the age of 23.
Oh, welcome to segment 3. I miss Christianity. The SSPX must consecrate bishops. By the way, this is part of the show where we laugh at the SSPX because the SSPX are brutally destroying their own campaign. No. Before the smartphone, we all sat in caves and read Chesterton to each other. Yay! We did. Now, this is a take on pure feminism. This might be the very definition of feminism from the SSPX. Yay!
First of all, let's establish that there can be situations where disobedience to legitimate authority is justified.
So there can be situations where disobedience to legitimate authority can be justified. That is literally what feminism is. That's literally what liberalism is. Do you know why? Because if you disagree, you're an extreme Novus Ordo person.
You might object, saying that can never happen concerning obedience to the Pope. If that's your position, then you are either a Protestant, an extreme Novus Ordo person, or a sedevacantist.
What's an extreme Novus Ordo person? I'm so confused. What is it? What does it do? Is justified disobedience really disobedience? Like, hey, don't go outside the house. The house is burning down. I can't leave unless I justify the disobedience of leaving the house is burning down. Now you just leave. What the heck? I'm a lawyer. The court is in session. I move I be allowed to justify my current disobedience because I'm going to die. Usually I just justify myself when I shoplift. Yay. We don't like those extreme ones. Also, this guy uses the same B-roll for every freaking video he's ever made. Bro, get more B-roll. What is up with this? Lame and lazy.
The second premise we must establish is that a state of necessity warrants justified disobedience.
Oh, justified disobedience. I'm not sure that I, Miss Grissom, knows what the word legitimate or justified means. It can't be justified and be disobedient, you extreme wiggly wackly Novus Ordo.
In order to justify the consecration of bishops without Rome's approval or even against Rome's disapproval, we must establish that there is a crisis in the church creating a state of necessity that justifies disobedience to legitimate.
The crisis in the church. Where's that clip? The crisis in the church.
Can we just pray for this guy? For real?
Yeah.
Legitimate authority.
By the way, the term legitimate should be replaced with warm button seat authority. As long as the crisis is really real, there's not real Pope. He's not real. He's just legitimate, but not real. Yes. This is like one of these fake worlds the Protestants make up, where you're like, oh, the Bible can pre-exist the Bible because I need it to. Legitimate means you can't disobey, you monkey. We were hereby disavow cat cans. Pay to worship call. I like the pay to worship call.
I would argue that a state of necessity justifies disobedience to legitimate authority.
I've said it already. How many times am I going to say this? Hey, God made this guy the Pope. Hey, God. I'm going to justify my disobedience to what you did because I'm justifying it because Christ is. Okay? Okay, God up there. Oh, wait, is Lefebvre the God? Wait, I thought Lefebvre was the God for these people. What? I can't keep my mind straight.
When the preservation of the authentic faith and the salvation of souls is at stake.
By the way, legitimacy is either derived for the common good or the imposition by a just ruler. And neither is the case here. So why are we even bringing this up? Because the SSPX wants you to buy them coffee. Coffee.
Coffee, 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 coffee. Those who have bought coffees through Buy Me a Coffee, coffee.
Oh, did you know I Miss Christianity wants you to buy him coffee? Guys, we're going to get to the Abaddon stuff in a little bit. Come on. In this clip, there's a crisis in the church, and the only way out is the SSPX. Vote now. What?
Is there a crisis in the church? If so, and the Society of St. Pius X is the only real remedy.
Wait. Why would the society be the only real remedy? Is it because this guy likes the society? Oh no! Is it another SSPX cult leader who's like, oh, Lefebvre is the only one ever? And I obviously don't look into the SSPV or the other groups. Yeah, so since it's the only real remedy, the logic presented fails, which is why the SSPX influencers are the most cringe losers. Come at me in the comments. Come at me in the comments. Isn't he a real bishop, but he had to have the consecration twice? Because the first time they flubbed it? I don't know. The issue is not institutions. The issue is institutions. What?
The issue is not merely the survival of the SSPX as an institution. The issue is the preservation and transmission of the traditional faith in its fullness during a time when the faith is widely obscured, diluted, or neglected within the mainstream church.
What? So let's see. The institution of the mainstream church is bad, but the institution of the SSPX is good. So the mainstream church doesn't preach the faith, but because we're SSPX, we call it the mainstream church. But we're the church because we're the SSPX. Why don't they just go full SSPX commando mode? Wiki, 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 wiki. And then just go, guy ain't apologizing to nothing. Is there a crisis in the church, or does the church subsist in crisis, or does the crisis subsist in the church? Ooh, we will never know. No one knows. I do. I trust me. I trust me right now. Fight me, cat cans. Fight me with super tips. Super tip /CDP. Oh, please. I'm starving over here. I don't have all the delicious cans of Gorilla Mind up there. Oh, by the way, the root beer Gorilla Mind is really delicious. It's fantastic and nutritious. because salvation of souls. But I've been wondering about this one, so I want to know what you guys think in the chat. How can you say that you're doing this for the salvation of souls if there's no pope to say the souls are being saved? Seems kind of circular in reasoning. Oh, why are you stealing that Lamborghini? Oh, the salvation of souls, the common good, G.K. Chesterton. Yeah, why not? Lefebvre wanted me to steal this car.
And since the salvation of souls is the highest law of the church, extraordinary measures become justified in order to preserve the faith and safeguard souls, because ultimately it's obedience to God.
Yeah, but that's what everyone says. Literally, that's what everyone says. But in this next clip, by not questioning the indefectibility, therefore it's not a question. Yay! I keep insulting Miss Happy Protestant, but she's nothing like an actual Sadeus Solsamagante. What?
The indefectibility of the church is not in question.
No, he's not actually. He's literally not arguing epic here because he doesn't claim it. If he was smart, he would. Yes, this is what Sadie's arguing. But you can't just go, ooh. Because the very end of the video is so fantastic. When I saw the very last 10 seconds, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Oh, the only reason watching this video is because of the last 10 seconds. Oh.
What is at stake is the unbroken transmission of the authentic faith and the valid sacramental rites that convey sanctifying grace. The SSPX's role is not to replace the church, but to preserve and transmit what the church herself has always taught and celebrated until Rome recovers the will to do so herself.
Yeah, because see, Rome doesn't actually preach a different faith. It just doesn't have the will to preach the faith. You know, the thing that Honorius got excommunicated for? Yeah, we don't have that. So the church is a non-Catholic church, but you can't say that because the SSPX don't say that. I can't wait till we get to the Novus Ordo Mass is valid, but all the Novus Ordo priests are invalid. Oh, I love this argument. Yeah, without the SSPX content creators' faith would be dead. Oh, they use credit cards, Christine. Duh! Well, how dumb that be? Hey, hello, I'd like a car. I'd like some car for some Epicia. No, Christine. Oh. I don't think Iman's Christendom understands how to argue the abstract argument, and that's the main problem. The whole episode can be summed up in this one little picture.
If you don't think there's a crisis in the church, then you don't understand what the traditional Catholic faith is.
If you don't understand there's a crisis, then you don't understand anything. Okay, what? JP3 does not use Epicia. He made himself his own ordinary, okay?
And that's okay. Most people don't dig into this, but the mainstream Catholic Church is not teaching the authentic faith in its entirety. I want to be precise here, because the crisis operates on two levels. On some matters, the official documents still contain the right teaching, and the crisis is one of transmission and enforcement. But a faith that exists on paper and is never taught might as well not exist for the souls who never hear it. Faith comes from hearing, so says the Apostle Paul.
So even if the modern church was literally the anti-church, we just can't say that, but they literally are doing what you would expect the anti-church to do. That is, even if they have the truth, they would not be preaching the truth. So it's the same thing as if they were all Lutherans, but we're the SSPX, so we can't say Sede Vacante because that's too radical. Okay. I interviewed Adam Warriors, Anthony Padel Ratchet, bragging. He took us the controversy around his consecration, listened to what he said, and then decided. It's a traditional Catholic faith different than the Catholic faith, yes. There's the SSPX traditional Catholic faith rather than the traditional Catholic faith. But then there's the SSPX, we got to make bishops traditional Catholic faith, which is different from the normal SSPX traditional Catholic faith, which is different from the Catholic faith, which is different from the modern church Catholic faith. If you can keep a track of that, you're a hero. Most people go to hell in that. No, Phil, no.
Some ideas did not come from dissenting theologians. They came from the Second Vatican Council and the papal documents that followed it. That is a different and more serious problem, and it is precisely why the solution cannot simply be better enforcement from Rome. Rome itself, on these points, has departed from what was always taught.
Oh, so Rome's a bunch of flaming heretics. Okay. Oh, apostate, different Roman. No. Okay. I love the SSPX. The reason why I love the SSPX, Kennedy Hall, if you remember, was like, Vatican II is a literal divorce from the truth, but it's still the church. And then this guy's like, it's literally teaching a new faith, but it's okay because we have the SSPX. Yay! No, this is all B footage that this guy uses in every single video. I think Chris Jackson is the ghostwriter for this guy's script. I titled this clip, The Authentic Faith.
The authentic Catholic faith, the authentic Catholic teaching says, the authentic Catholic faith does not teach, the authentic Catholic faith teaches that the authentic faith does not, the authentic faith proudly, the authentic faith doesn't, the authentic faith, the authentic Catholic faith.
Yeah, and there's 2 more minutes of it, and we cut it out because we were like, why? Hey, can I buy a hamburger?
The authentic hamburger is made with the authentic spatula on the authentic hot cooking surface thing, which is powered by the authentic heat source, which is authentic propane, which is made from the Amerigas company, which is then transferred by the authentic man, who's definitely not a Mexican, who it goes into the authentic propane barrel. Yes, and the authentic hamburgers are paid in by the authentic kitchen staff, who take it out of the authentic kitchen freezer. Yeah, like,
oh. You like saying words a lot. Oh, congratulations. You know how to speak English. No authentic beyond meat. You're not in this world. You're of the world, man. No. Of course it's not. It's got the authentic beyond meat on it. What's wrong with you? No, it is authentic. What is wrong with you? It is authentic Mexicans are authentic citizens. No, you can't. It is authentic. What is wrong with all of you? Oh, no. No, you stop it. In this clip, the guy who is not showing a single source for anything is now playing the edgy teenager. By the way, he didn't say anything. He's like, the authentic faith does not say you can bless homosexuals. He's like, you're saying that Francis was a heretic? I didn't say that. I just said the authentic faith, man. I don't think anyone's a heretic. They're just not preaching the authentic faith.
If you're just going to Mass every Sunday expecting the mainstream church to teach you and your family, you've probably never heard some of this or any of it. And what I just said probably shocked you.
Oh, if you're stupid, I'm edgy. Okay. Did you know 90% of all your viewers are your former viewers who are still viewing your content? That's how content works. Wow.
If you're shocked by what I've just said, you didn't watch any SSPX videos for the last 10 years.
But we did. That's why we're watching your video. Because we love the SSPX. They make us laugh. What's my real thoughts? I think he's a funny man. That's my real thoughts. I don't form opinions. I literally don't. No, it's not. That wasn't an authentic question. This is a fake. This show is fake. This is a podcast. Next, we have an argument from my personal experience. I love this argument.
I was there. I spent 30 years in the Novus Ordo. If this were happening 15 years ago, I would have been condemning the SSPX too.
Oh, is this the same guy who said?
Trust me, I know.
Trust
I
me,
raised
I
all
know.
four of
I
my
raised
children
all
in the
four
Novus
of my
Ordo,
children in the
and
Novus
all
Ordo,
four left
and all
before the
four
age of
left
23.
before the age of 23.
It's almost like it's a fake religion. Oh.
But I started looking into what the authentic Catholic faith actually is and found that it is not what is being represented by the mainstream Catholic Church today.
Oh, so you're saying the mainstream Catholic Church preaches a different religion. Okay. Which is why you didn't make a single reference to the particular teaching, because you didn't want to condemn all of the Vatican II popes. Oh. I tell you, I love the SSPX. They're the most passive-aggressive women in the world. SSPX is like, if someone had just watered the plants in the yard, they wouldn't be dead. Hello. And if someone had done the shopping today, we'd have authentic hamburgers. But oh no! And if someone had transferred the authentic priesthood, but oh no! Okay, we get it. You're upset. And this clip, Miss Christianity uses the word replace in reference to the faith. Essentially, he's 100% a state of a contest, but he just can't say it.
And by the way, the traditional Catholic faith is the true faith, and no one, including a pope or council, has the authority to replace it.
Oh! You can't replace the faith. So when they replaced all of the sacraments after Vatican II, that pretty much meant they all left the faith. Okay, thank you, Mr. SSPX. I think the SSPX are really God and the new Mass is valid and evil. Welcome to the SSPX. I love this. Oh, I love this.
Because the new Mass obscures the sacrificial nature of the Mass.
The new Mass obscures the sacrificial nature of the Mass.
Treating it like a community meal. It is valid when done properly.
It is valid when done properly, even though it's non-authentic Catholicism. Okay.
But it does not represent the fullness of the faith.
It represents partial faith, unauthentic faith, but it still is valid because someone told me it is.
The Latin Mass does.
Oh, there's Father Geckel. He's the authentic Father Geckel. So it's an abomination before God, but it's also really real and really valid and really authorized by a real pope, but it's not an authentic Mass or an authentic pope or the authentic faith. Welcome to why we don't like the SSPX. No. Odd Miss Brit said AP, or is that just Chris Jackson said AP? Yes, the answer is yes. In this clip, we have I miss boats because this guy missed this one. No, we're not doing bullocks again.
Here's something else, and this is important. This shows why it has to be the SSPX that preserves the faith, since Rome has chosen not to. In 1968, Pope Paul VI promulgated new rites of ordination of priests and consecration of bishops.
Wait. So if we have new priests and new bishops and they're inauthentic, how can the inauthentic Mass be valid? Doesn't he realize he just made the argument the new Mass is invalid unless said by SSPX priests? Now he's going to nuke his own argument.
And against the Council of Trent Session 7, Canon 13 on the sacraments in general, which reads, if anyone saith that the received and approved rites of the Catholic Church won't to be used in the solemn administration of the sacraments or be changed by every pastor of the church into other new ones, let him be anathema. The consecration of bishops in the new rite is a significant departure from the traditional rite.
Yeah, so is the new Mass. Come on, I know you can do it. Come on, Mr. SSPX, man. You gotta say it. The new mass is invalid because the priests are invalid.
Because the new mass, it is valid when done properly. It is valid when done properly. It is valid when done properly.
Wait a second. So you're anathema when you change the bishop rites, but when you change the new mass rites, it's okay. Even though you're saying the Council of Trent says if you change the rites, then it's invalid, but then the mass is valid because it was changed. Welcome to the SSPX! Yay! Oh, it's like a retarded young older brother. Yay! The authentic presence is in the middle. Most of them are. Oh no! The SSPX use holy oils consecrated by the Novus Ordo. So according to I Miss Christianity, the SSPX are invalid. No. Invalid last rites coming soon. This is a picture from the website Novus Ordo Watch. Boing! With Mario Dirksen. Boing! Do I have a sound effects for that?
You guessed it. The SSPX have invalid sacraments. Oops, I guess we'll have to wait until the next guy comes along. It's a Stratcast.
No. By the way, did you notice the last Stratcast Express? He didn't have any sound effects in. Winning! We have got Mario Dirksen to take out his wacky sound effects, and now we miss them. In this clip, I Miss Christendom forgot the whole jurisdiction problem. I guess he didn't make it up, so it doesn't exist. Okay.
These men in the Anglican Communion who call themselves priests and bishops have no sacramental authority. When they perform Mass, nothing happens. When they absolve sins, the sins remain. Let that sink in.
Did you know there's no such thing as sacramental authority? You made it up! You made it up! Oh, I tell you, I love the SSPX. I'm going to just make up the Catholic religion.
Oh, some priests have inauthentic sacramental authority to juridically remove the effects but not the causes. Oh.
No. I know. Don't you know sacramental authority comes from your consecration? Yes.
But shouldn't the new rites of ordination and consecration be considered valid, at least potentially, but illicit since they go against Pius XII and the Council of Trent?
Yeah, so now we're playing, if I like a pope, he's better than your pope. And then Dan Davis comes along and says, yeah, but I like Pius V better, so now Pius XII is gone. You're like, what? No way. Did you just trump me with a different pope? I didn't know this was Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, yeah, you just activated the Council of Trent. Now I get to move 2 times. What? Who is doing this theology? The theology's got to agree with each other. Oh, we're not doing the wolf pack yet. We got to get to the end of the end of this segment. Then we'll get to the wolf pack.
In that case, how can it be illegal to preserve the traditional rites of ordination and consecration? Doesn't the preservation of the traditional rites, the legal rites of the Latin Church, according to Trent, constitute a state of necessity?
Okay, then what doesn't constitute a state of necessity? It's like any formal change, anytime, anywhere would be a state of necessity, including Marian dogmas. Oh, did you know? Pius IX made a Marian dogma. He said, everyone in the whole church has to believe this. Oh no, state of necessity. The church got formally changed. First there were 4 Marian dogmas. Now there's 3 Marian dogmas. Now there's 4. Oh, the church changed. State of necessity. Help. Ha! Welcome to the SSPX nukes their own argument. Yay! What kind of stream is this? This is a stream where we shoot at Donald Trump. I know, a pope is doing illicit things. Make it make sense. The whole point of a pope is he can't.
The SSPX is the only group that can truly preserve the traditional rites.
Yeah, because you don't like Archbishop Thuc. Therefore, the SSPX are the only people.
And that 100 years from now, 200 years from now, every priest, bishop, and even pope in the Catholic Church will draw their lineage to the apostles through Archbishop Lefebvre.
Every single guy in the entire world will be born of Lefebvre. That's right. You heard it here first. There's no disease. And non-Lefebvre clergy. Y'all don't exist, yo. Harry is a failure to count right. Let's listen to that again.
And that 100 years from now, 200 years from now, every priest, bishop, and even pope in the Catholic Church will draw their lineage to the apostles through Archbishop Lefebvre.
That's right! The 13th apostle, Archbishop Lefebvre, the most amazing guy who's ever been ever, and he was French. Boom! Can't beat that! That's right! That's right! SSPX! Where's the supremacy called? Yeah! By the way, even if that was partially true, it wouldn't be true at all. Because there's these little independent priests, and they're like, oh man, my lineage, yeah. Next clip. Where is it? All right, now we are on to segment number 3. The state of the Pelican. You might be insane to listening to it, SSPX people, yes. The state of the Pelican. The Pelican. Oh.
We have probably, in my humble opinion, one of the greatest living traditionalists on the show today.
Did you know? And there's out of all the bishops, the priests, the hermits, the mystics, the great people in the world, Brian McCall's the greatest traditionalist. Yes. Someone that nobody even knows about unless you follow Catholic Family News. He's the greatest traditionalist. There's a thin line between brilliance and insanity. I think we're way too deep in insanity. And Brian McCall's the greatest traditionalist. First it was Lefebvre, and Thuc, and then Memberito, and then Brian McCall on the Mount Rushmore of tradition.
And I mean that with all seriousness.
Hey, this guy has a PhD. He was professionally taught. He runs a company. Did you know he was a lawyer? But Trading isn't a company. Oh. See?
We have Professor, Doctor, and now the CEO of Pelican Plus, Brian.
I know. It's like... Did you know Sandy Picante is the funniest Sandy there is? And there's never been one funnier. You know Father Chicata is, right? Like, Father Chicata murders. You're like, oh, but I'm ignorant, therefore Sandy P is. Don't look at me like that, Jake. Just because I'm being dumb doesn't mean you have to give me those eyeballs. Oh.
McCall. Brian, welcome to the show.
Now, Brian McCall's take on the liturgy wars is 100% boomer brain. Armchair predictions are generally stupid and he has nothing intelligent to say.
There's been a battle growing within the hierarchy of the church to sort of find a
yes, he is. Apparently, he got reordained by Bishop Pfeiffer. That's what Brian said. Or Darren said. So I'm going to go that every one of the Novus Orders attached to Pelican got conditionally reordained by Bishop Pfeiffer. Oh no!
resolution of the liturgical civil war that's been going on in the church. And I think there are factions within the hierarchy that have been fighting over that. We can talk detail about who they are, but one of them, I think, wants the sort of take no prisoners, obliterate it, commit liturgical genocide, essentially, and then the other wants to find some sort of peace and harmony, and can't we all just get along? And I think the act of the consecrations is going to bring all of that really to the surface for some important, I think, decision on where the next several decades, at least in the church, go.
So essentially, things are going to happen, and then people are going to react to things that happen. And then going forward, the reactions to things that happen will be what happens. Wow. Thanks, PhD. Greatest traditionalist ever. Like, I couldn't have known that people will react to things that happen. Wow. I mean, that's like incredible. Did you know people watch shows? What? People have been doing this for hundreds and thousands of years. What? It's almost like it's just a part of human nature. Oh, wow. Nature is going to happen. Wow. Yeah, he has a lazy eye. That's how you know he's a villain. What? Cherno, you have a bow tie on your head. You're not a traditionalist.
Obviously, at the same time in the world, we're seeing another kind of moment, and we've had a lot of those. 2020 was one, 2024. But I think with all the events in the world, with the wars going on, we're kind of reaching another moment where we're going to decide the future, and politically in our country, where we're going in the next couple of months as well. So.
Yeah, stuff is going to happen. Here's my PhD take on this. Stuff will happen. Wow. With PhDs like this, why don't you have a subscription to Pelican Plus? Hey, stuff happens.
Here. But as to your specific question, I actually don't think there's going to be any major breaks or splits like 1983, 1980.
Would I interview Father Lovell? No, I don't do interviews on my show. Also, Father Lovell says something very weird at the very end of next clip, and oh boy.
88, 2000 with, speaking of Brazil, those in Campos. Now, again, I could be totally wrong. This is just my prediction. But I think the SSPX priests are generally very coherent. I think they're very sort of united in their thinking about this. There may be little bits here and there, one individual priest here or there, one seminarian here or there. But I actually don't think there'll be sort of a significant break off this time. I think it's not 1988. One of the things, I think those in the Vatican are using a playbook that's 1988. I think they think the world is the same as 1988, the Catholic world.
I think if you think that the Vatican hasn't game theory this out, you're retarded. Hey, one of the greatest institutions in all human history. It's like, oh, I think in 1988. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think in 1988. No, idiot. 1988 was a masterstroke by the Vatican to destroy tradition. And then some more pontificum destroyed tradition. And this is going to destroy tradition again. Like, oh, I think 1988. Oh, thanks, Brian McStupid. If I smoke a pipe and a whiskey in a glass and wear a rum collar and a bow tie, will I mean no. You have to be in like a rocking chair too, and have like some flannel blanket on or something. But like seriously, you're gonna tell me Potter had a beard. You're gonna tell me the Vatican is going to be outplayed by the society? Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, that's right. That's what always happens. It's the 1988, okay? Okay, Centipede, stop crashing out. No, I will crash out.
And things are really very, very different. And
yes. And he kept talking for a whole nother minute. So next question, how dare people not want to pay for Pelican Plus?
What was your thoughts on Pelican? Because I'm going to tell you right now, it was immediately attacked for being a subscription-based platform.
Yeah, because it was dumb.
And what I find hilarious is that while it is a very small number of people that are critical on social media, what I've noticed is that it's usually those same people that are, I can't believe that you're charging a subscription, are the same ones that pay to have the blue check mark on X, or pay for the premium service on YouTube, or pay for locals to get, the behind the paywall thing. And they have no problem doing that and promoting that, but somehow, us having a subscription is a bad thing.
Yeah, because your content was terrible. Look at it. The reason why people aren't locals is because their content's like, whoa, I can't get this content anywhere. Did you know SSPX has actual subscriptions to podcasts because they're freaking great? I love it. Then you buy content that already exists called the Mass of the Ages. Then you hired worthless content creators and you're like, hey, pay me for this content. But these guys are all bad. Hey, I'm going to get a subscription so I can hear Kennedy Hall say, my parents divorced each other and that was bad. Wow, riveting content. Your shows are terrible. Everything you did was terrible. And then you're like, hey, paywall. Oh, so then when you stole the missiles and put them up on your website, you're like, hey, do you want to have the missiles that should be free for everyone, but we have them on our own, and we downloaded them from Divini Officium, ha ha ha, downloaded them from other websites, just like Taylor Marshall downloaded the Alphonsus Liguori Passion Book from archive.org. Oh, he did that? Yeah, he did. He didn't upload it himself. And then he's like, I'm going to charge you money for this. Like, oh. So you're just hoping to make a quick buck. Okay, I guess I'll complain about it. Oh, you're just a little guy complaining about it. Oh, sorry, Father Lovell. Sorry. Who do I listen to right now? Only video games because I haven't finished listening to stuff. But maybe you can meet locals on Abate's locals. You'll find some good Italian chicks like Christine Saracino. Anyway, no. I don't listen to Catholic content for money. Catholic content is terrible. Also, yeah, you can buy, there's literally hundreds of thousands of hours of people saying the rosary on YouTube. There's literally Santa groups that say it publicly. There's Novus Order groups that say it publicly every single day. Or you could say it with Kennedy Hall. The Founders Club is now the Holy League, and the Fleet is the secondary Founders Club. Yay! There's nothing sacred anymore.
First of all, I joined the Founders Club, which we're rolling out in a kind of a new version under some new terminology, the Holy League and the Fleet. But the Founders Club were people who wanted to come in and contribute and get a lifetime membership instead of doing a subscription membership to provide kind of startup capital, right? To sort of, we'll buy this to give the company a chance to get started, because it started with really just an idea.
Wait a second. You mean this whole thing was started because someone who doesn't code had an idea? Oh, he must be a hero and a saint or something. Did he advertise for it? Throw him in jail, mortal sin. Okay. Whatever the rules are. Yes. So in this clip, the purpose of Pelican was to circumvent the Catholic Church because crisis. This is the actual thing they don't want to talk about. So that is why we talk about it. Oh,
Why did I make those decisions? Why did I even want to support this personally as a Founders Club member, even before producing shows on it? And that's because there's the internet and the technology is such an incredible tool, right? And God gives us, he allows tools to come into existence when we.
Wait, I thought the internet and technology was a machine and it was immoral. Now it's a tool. Do we just get to change the definitions of everything whenever it suits us? Man, I can't keep up with this stuff. What? Okay, the internet is a tool and it's amazing and we should use it. Okay. Now what else is he going to say?
We need the most, right? And because of the crisis in the church, the isolation, we can't just go to our local Catholic church to get the truth. There is this tool that lets us connect with each other in ways that were impossible, right?
So because I can't get the faith from the church, I gotta go to Pius Pelican. Oh, so in other words, the Pius Pelican is the Catholic faith. Okay, got it. Is that why they only had R&R people over the whole thing? And people who lie about the papacy, like Peter Kwasniewski? But it's not good they got rid of Cavazos. I don't know why they got rid of Cavazos. Cavazos was my friend to the end. Wamba Fat. And he was formed out of a clay podcast. I didn't know podcasts could be clay. Anyway, Brian is the CEO. Catholics demand to have free speech because controversy is hot.
Incredible dangers, right? And first of all, the danger is censorship control. And we've seen this. We saw this when.
So I wanted to play this because the Pius Pelican Plus censors the Sades, and then they're like, "Oh, Big Tech is censoring me. Now I gotta censor other people, and I gotta censor the Archbishop of San Antonio. But I'm not getting censored because I'm the greatest traditional voice in the world. Cavazos is my friend to the end. We even have Cavazos clips.
How do you know? How do you know?
Oh.
Be gay and do crime. Be gay and do crime.
Oh, Cavazos, our friend. We made him famous and then he runs away.
I was at Catholic Family News. There's certain topics you couldn't talk about, or you'd just be censored. We had videos demonetized. We had videos taken down, deleted. We were scolded because there's just certain topics that the masters of the world,
the masters of the world don't want you to do stuff, and they were censoring us. And here's a clip of Brian McCall.
Masters of the world, call yourself, the murder, jungle animal, a curse on you, a curse on you, a curse on your empire.
Brian McCall certainly looks different without his glasses on. Anyway, this is back in the days where everybody was like, why can't I say the word COVID? And then the algorithm was like, don't say the word COVID. And they're like, I'm going to say the word COVID. Take that, free speech, USA. I got demonetized. I'm persecuted. Help! 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 Like, can you imagine this? Like, okay. You're in the supermarket and you're like, hey, Mom, I'd like some chocolate chip cookies. And she's like, no. And you're like, I'm being persecuted. Help, 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 persecution. And then your mom's like, no chocolate chip cookies. You're like, oh, why do you hate me? It's like, oh yeah, that's what YouTubers are like, children. Yes. That's why I think Sadie Picante plays with a Muppet. Because everybody is a baby. Is that Brian McCall? Yes! The greatest traditionalist who's ever lived in the world. Basically, I would interview, so please do not say that Pelican would not interview you. I'm not doing interviews. I hate interviews. Humph! Besides, you'd have to go to Cherno first, and then you got to go to Master Bowser, and then you'd have to go to the little guy over there. Besides, we're an anti-Pelican show because it's really funny to us.
The Lord of the World does not want spoken about publicly.
Ah, the Lord of the World. By the way, part of the whole Lord of the World's game is to get them to say they are the Lord of the World. It's a con game and you're falling for it. Besides, you can't tell if anybody is actually who they say they are. Like, I'm Father Lovell. Like, you're cat cans, I know it. I know you're cat cans and I don't trust anyone. I don't know. I don't go outside of sadomasochism.
The second danger is paid advertising because,
what did we learn today? All paid advertising is mortal sin. Okay.
It's kind of funny. Traditional Catholics think, well, we should get somebody like, Tim Flanders, who's here, and they should just do this all for free.
No, that is actually a good point. I think Tim Flanders should do this for free. Yeah, I agree with that.
And you have to pay them something, right? Nobody goes into this. No one's going to Pelican to become rich, right? Nobody goes into this. No one's going to Pelican to become rich, right? Nobody goes into this. No one's going to Pelican to become rich.
I thought that's what Kennedy Hall did, though. And Nick Cavazo said, hey, guess what? I'm going to shake the dust off my feet. This YouTube thing, it don't mean nothing to me. And that's also what Abate said. They promised him. They promised him he would be rich. That's because money alone will save you. Yes. What? Herbal supplements? The devil's lettuce? Oh no. They know about Integrity Farms. I don't get. Okay, I love the fact that Tim Flanders is behind a paywall, so I never have to look at his content. It's fantastic. I literally pray as one of my intentions. I pray for all the people I make fun of on this show. So you are unfortunately being prayed for, and you will be converted to Sede Picante. I have to ask James Green whether I can do anything for free, because he owns me. Anyway, revisionist history much. YouTube is immoral, don't you know?
And so we have a choice. We either go on YouTube and, have immoral ads because you have no control over this, what ads get put into your videos.
You don't? That's funny. I never see ads. That's because I have a YouTube subscription. Yay! No ads, no ads. La 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 la. But the worst part is what he says at the end of the video. He says, why do you want to have Netflix? Why have YouTube when you could have Pious Pelican? Does Pious Pelican have Brood War content? Well, you're not really a main character on this show, though. This is more about Brian McCall.
And, it's embarrassing. I was listening to a great Catholic commentary one day.
Wait, why on earth would you watch a Saint-of-a-Contest roast show? Why? What is wrong with you people? Go watch something else. Go watch the Pelican. It's got a fishing video on it. A Brian McCall fishing. Literally the greatest show in the world.
And I was playing on speakerphone because I like to listen to things when I'm doing things, cooking or whatever, to be efficient. And when you get to be delicate about this, you get to be over 50 and you're a man, there is an ad that is constantly appearing talking about male physiology and things that don't work as well. And they're...
Wait, did Brian McCall just realize they have male... Oh! Brian, don't talk about that. That's for men only. There's a woman. Look, there's a woman on the stream. No, we don't talk about that commercial, Brian. Brian, we don't talk about that commercial. Peter Nelson might like that. All right, anyway, so the solution to a paywall on YouTube is to make a paywall on Pious Pelican. Yay!
And then the third danger is one of the ways big tech has monetized itself and gone to is to create a culture of controversy and a
traditional dysfunction, excuse me, schmuckass. So one of the way big tech controls us is it makes us fight each other.
culture of personal attacks, right? The way you get clicks, the way you get metrics is you go and attack people.
Literally this show. Yes, this show is literally doing that. Oh, wait. I was reading War and Peace when the internet goes down. I read books when the internet goes down, and it's literally just a bunch of people gossiping about Napoleon. I'm pretty certain all human history is literally 5 people standing around a room talking about somebody else. This is what I think. You know your old boss is getting sued for cheating on other Catholics, right, McCall? Oh, boy.
Ooh, I heard so-and-so, got some dirt on so-and-so. Ooh, wow, let me send this to all my friends, right? And the masters of big tech play on this.
Yes, but, there's 2 public lawsuits dating back from 2016 about stuff Dan hasn't paid, and a good man always pays his bills. I really do wish that Dan would actually make a video on this and explain why he hasn't paid these bills back so we could stop speculating. But that would be bad because he's in a lawsuit. Oh no. So what Pious Pelican Plus solves? Total lady power but no Saturdays. Why am I becoming...
And so what I saw in the vision of Pelican was answers to all these. 1, create a platform away from control where nobody will be censored. And again, our idea of Pelican is not everybody has to be SSPX Catholic who agrees with Bishop Tissier de Mallaray's interpretation of the conciliar church, right? No, it's Catholics of goodwill who want to discuss from a Catholic perspective. People who have different views on whether the consecration should happen or not. We need a place where we can talk to each other, not in a vitriolic way and not in an immediately resort to ad hominem, right?
But I like ad hominem. Look at me, I'm getting views because of ad hominem. What, I'm supposed to not get views now? Oh, hey, how dare you get views? Did you know? Congratulations, Avoiding Babylon. You got 100,000 subs because you attack people. Yay! Avoiding Babylon, attack people. Get the views. Yay! No? We have to go to Pious Pelican Plus so we don't get views?
A place where people were free to debate things.
Oh, we are? We're free to debate things on YouTube and Twitter and Pious Pelican Plus. And all you need to do is have a YouTube account and you can come on the show. What? Why do you not just use Brave Browser on YouTube to avoid ads? Because my computer is old and I did the wrong version of Brave Browser and then it crashes and then I'm so sad. Anyway, back to the show. You are not allowed to talk on our free speech platform. Yay! Free Pelican Plus is for us, not for you. Now this is like when the CMRI tell Kevin Davis, hey, don't have any people who are against the CMRI on your show. And Kevin Davis is like, that's my show. I do what I want to do. Yeah, man. Oh, I love Darth Kevin. Darth Kevin is the greatest character of all time. Anyway.
And where there's no advertising and that's why there's no comments on Pelican Plus. There's no, you get to start, reacting. There's none.
You don't get to react, but so in order to fix them, you don't get to react because people want to react. Then we have Pious Pelican Plus, where the fat people go. Yay! And that's where you have Pious Plus Facebook, because the black button is too hard to use on Twitter, which Senator Conte was using earlier today. Oops.
And the problem is if we don't have comments here, we're going to go off into those spaces controlled by our enemies that are going to amplify controversy, amplify that. And so we created, I wasn't part of it yet, but the Pelican created Pelican Social to be an alternative to the sort of, I think, very evil social media platforms, so that there could be that environment where people who view videos, who read articles, could talk with each other, could discuss it, but not be subject to the big tech algorithms and things that sort of push the negative comments. And again, our only thing, and this I'm going to continue as CEO, there's no censorship here. There's no, you can't ask questions. You can't bring up topics. All we don't want to see in the social platform is
what everybody wants to do. Hey, Brian, you don't know how to tie a bow tie. Blah. It's like, oh, but I can't. Like, you're not a priest, though. See, this is a big problem. I agree. We should not make bad comments about priests and bishops. So I try not to most of the time, which is actually why I've been avoiding making fun of Father Lovell. And why I don't go after, I did once actually, like a month ago, but I don't generally go after, what's his name? Father Lavery. And the eternal sunshine of the tacit will of the Pope. I try to avoid that because he's an actual priest. But you're Brian McCall, and I'm going to go after you.
personal attacks, ad hominem, dirt digging.
But I like dirt digging. If you don't dig dirt, then you don't know the truth. Like I did. There's actually the dossier that Harry Dirksen was talking about, which was promoted by the Contra Thuc account, which I and Imburrito Thuc and John the Fool looked at, which is 326 pages of dirt digging on Archbishop Thuc. We actually had to go ahead and look at every single picture in there and make sure that Archbishop Thuc was every really good. And it's like, yeah, that was a ton of dirt digging. But that's the research. Anyway, do you remember how Abbot Dan was cussing out kids? Kind of funny, but you know, some people don't like that stuff.
Because it just should have no place here. And it's not enough to say,
oh, no, you know, I'm a woman puppet, and this puppet has bow tie on the head.
Well, I don't want to commit the sin of calumny, detraction, slander.
I do.
But just in my opinion, this person's a dirtbag sleazeball who commits a lot of sins. I mean,
yeah, but what if they are a dirtbag sleazeball who does in fact commit a lot of sins? Like, we gotta be honest here. They do exist. No one like, oh no, you're Catholic. You've never committed sins before in your whole life. It's like, no, I think sometimes we are dirtbag sleazeballs and we do commit sins, and that's why we go to confession. Like, seriously. Like what? Well, we haven't committed sins before? Like, oh, look at, there's Dan. He destroyed Catholic family news.
No, don't talk about family news. I didn't do anything. Don't call me a dirtbag sleazeball. Oh, help me.
It's like, but what if you did? What if you were? It said a lot of words. It pretty much labeled every single priest who came from Thuc in pictures.
You don't get a get out of sin card by just saying, oh, I don't intend to commit this sin, and then
wait, you don't? There's no get out of sin card? What? All this time I've been lied to. Father Geckel, I have a load of sins then. Help!
Objectively go do it, right?
The CEO of the company takes his orders from his wife. Yay! And I told my mother this, and my mother's so shocked by everything. She's like, what man takes orders from his wife? Oh, like, Mom, your dad takes orders from you every single day. Oh, what man does this? Oh. Good night, Father Giggle. Don't watch the show. It's full of brain rot. We only have 5 minutes left.
The final piece that was really, and this was really my wife, I have to tell you, because when she said, you need to get involved with this group, she said, you've got to go support this. And that's where, actually, for that is why I wanted to become a Founders Club member, because she wanted all the access to that app.
Yes. The story says is his wife didn't know how the internet works, so Brian had to join Pelican Plus. Okay. Nothing wrong about this, but that's not very trad of you, and he's the most trad man ever. I thought the trad man was like, hey, wife, shut up.
I make the decisions around here.
I can't believe this is happening either. You know, we have people coming out here. Well, they had no investors at the beginning. Okay. Well, I think that's a good thing. All right. And by
Why are you in the chat? No. No. Oh no! Oh no! Here comes the big. I better block him now.
the way, those same people that are saying that if there were investors, if there was somebody pouring in millions of dollars, they would say, "Oh, look at that! Somebody's behind the scenes controlling everything."
Yeah, just like with Integrity Magazine. Huh? Integrity Magazine, who's your big investor?
God still loved Jeffrey Epstein.
Same energy. God loved Jeffrey Epstein. Who are you to condemn him? It's like, oh, sorry. I'm an internet troll and I just threw mud at everybody. Yeah, Father is mad and Dan never put himself front and center. And it's about a fate, and it's not about, those possibly illicit sacraments and stuff. I tell you, jurisdiction is the biggest problem in the world right now. Oh, boy. Yeah, we'll get to Integrity Magazine as soon as the lawsuits start. Chris Jackson and I are already planning to sue them.
I want to let everyone know I had on a few weeks ago Dan 70, who is the founder, who remains the chairman of the board for Pelican Plus. You know, he did a very courageous thing because he realized, look, the story can't be about me.
Oh, look at him in the middle. The story's about him. There he is. Did you know you don't have to have Pious Pelican right here? Get the other color. You see, Pious Pelican should be up. And then his face wouldn't be here. It would be up. And then it would be centered properly. But as it is, he looks like a munchkin. It's like, I'm Dan Savigny, way down here. I don't know, it just looks funny to me. King Abbott Dan Savigny, there's Abbott.
It has to be about the Catholic content. And you're absolutely right. We would never give Father Jimmy Martin a show on Pelican Plus.
Yeah, but why not? I love Father Jimmy Martin. Boo! Boo! Give my
Pelican allows you to go off grid without actually going off grid.
Okay, I've got a huge problem here. It allows you to turn off the internet without going off the internet. What? That's not how English works. Hello, English. Hello.
Meaning that you could still use it during Lent and still be off of electronics. All right.
Yeah, God has a special exception for apps named Pelican and Twitter and YouTube and StarCraft 2 and Age of Wonders 3. There's a special power in heaven granted for these apps. They actually said they would invite Jimmy Martin on if they wanted to debate him, and then they were going to mudsling him. When I $2 million in loans I haven't paid off, but it's not to make me rich. Bah! Stupid trads, give me your money. No, we don't do anything with anyone. We're an incel in our sister's basement. We don't talk to anyone. Get out of my chat.
For the record, because Dan has come under a lot of attack.
Yeah, Dan, and it would help if you didn't leave this all up to the mockers like SAP, who just is going to run with the lawsuit stuff because we don't know what's going on.
And I don't want to dwell on the specifics. And look, I think he would admit if he were here, he's made mistakes. He's sinned.
No, I'm blocked, but I'm also a jerk on Twitter. And if you don't block me, there's something wrong with you.
And he's done things wrong. We all have. But what I can assure you, in the look I've had into Pelican in my present role this past week, that is not the case. Is he has not done this to make himself rich.
Yes, but you're mixing things up here. Because Dan Savigny owns like 6 different businesses. So he's not owning this business to make himself money. But he was doing different businesses to make himself money. That's how businesses work. I have a friend in college who explained it all to me. He's like, I own 4 different nonprofits. My car is owned by a nonprofit. You can't sue me if I bump into you. My cat is owned by a nonprofit. You can't sue me if it scratches you. My golf club and golf ball is owned by a nonprofit. You can't sue me if I put it through your window. Like, oh, is that how it works? Yes. So Dan McCall like, doesn't know how all this stuff works. It's very funny. Abbott Dan died for arsons. CDP on the Flamingo Network. No, I have enough shows to do. It takes me over 10 hours to produce one of these shows. Leave me alone.
Taken a dime. He's been the work he did as the founding CEO until he resigned.
By the way, Dan does not code. This is a website. It's mostly about coding. So I'm not sure what work he did. Failing to get Abate to join and then keeping Abate on the advertisement, which Abate should have sued them for, but he didn't because Abate's a clown. Oh, what's the point of having 100,000 subscribers if you're not going to sue people?
Took 0 salary. He has not taken any money out of the venture. In fact, he's only lost money. He put personal money in to get it going.
Yeah, but what do you have the numbers and the tax receipts, the form of the 990? Because I've been looking for it and I can't find it. I want that 990. Give it to me. Oh, I want pints with Aquinas cringe clips on the Pelican. That would actually be a pretty good get if the Pelican could get pints. That actually might make it worth having on a subscription for.
My prior life, before I went into academia, was a corporate lawyer. Saw lots of private equity investments, startup businesses. And for this idea only can be of God, because for having no investors, no real initial capital other than
this is actually not true, by the way. I've looked this up. It's part of the Restoring Christian Initiative. Unless that's Sanctus French. And now Pious Pelicans are different. Oh, I'm going to have to go do more homework. Hey, CDP, we have made a new corporation for you to discover. Oh, corporations. All of this research I have to do for this stupid show. Why don't you guys just post everything publicly so I don't have to do anything?
Than Bits Dan did for him, threw into the company. We're only around 6 months having these apps and things, and we're very close to being kind of monthly break even. Very close.
Very close to monthly break even. Money, even though they've already lost 1/3 of how much money they pay their original staff, I guess. Give me the numbers. Honest question, Brian. Why doesn't Brian McCall go on the CDP show? Yay! Because the CDP show's an itty bitty baby show, and nobody cares about you, CDP. Stupid cities, only making trouble.
A bit of a hit from the attacks recently, scaring people off, which was their intention, I assume.
I don't know. We just want to get to the truth of it. That's why we had TLM Ryan look at the lawsuits, because it's fun. Also, we want to know what happened to Nick Cavazos, because we used to make fun of him every week, and then he disappeared. And then we are sad. Making assumptions about detractors, mudslingers. Oh wait, I thought that we didn't make these kind of statements on Pious Pelican. Now the detractors are mudslinging ad hominem by Brian McCall. You don't know that. You don't know. Come on, let's get to the end of the show. We just need a handful of 1,600, 5,000 CPs ruining the show again. Wrong button. Press the other button. We need to get rid of that. $5,000 subscribers.
A handful of new lifetime members to kind of get us through this period, some new regular subscribers.
Yes. So if you paid $500,000 to your subscribers and they still left, who the heck said $500,000? That was someone dumb on Twitter. It was like, hey guys, did you know they paid $500,000 to their subscribers?
So again, the money that came in subscriptions, $500,000 of that essentially went to pay people like Tim Flanders, Dr. Kozhnevsky.
Wait, so no, he said it? $500,000. So wait. Cavazos ran away when they were paying 5,000, comma money to 12 people plus all the staff, which was like 6 people plus Father Lovell, which is 2 people, and all their families, which is like 90 people. Back, so $5,000 to every person, and he left. Cavazos, that's free money for doing a terrible show. Cavazos, you're an idiot. $500,000. That's how much Integrity Magazine was offering to pay me, but I said, I have integrity. I'm not going to work for Integrity Magazine. That's not true. You get paid from the priest donation fund thing that you've been doing. You just don't get paid out of this company. You get paid out of the other one with the Cancel Priest Coalition. Man, how much facts do I gotta know about everyone? I don't even know if the Cancel Priest Coalition exists anymore. I think it does.
Who suffered a lot in his career for his faithfulness. And
have we glazed Rundus the Wondrous? Rundus, the future of Catholicism.
I saw Mary Rundus several years ago as a Catholic Family News, that this guy is the future of Catholic media apostolate.
Pious Pelican Plus is going down.
I play Wendell, and Wendell is this very self-confident guy, and he thinks the whole world revolves around him.
He plays a character, and the whole world revolves around him. I wonder if they cast him because he's really talented. Or maybe, just maybe, it's because the whole world revolves around him that they cast him in a role about the whole world revolving around him. Oh, the little games we play. Okay, he denies that the Coalition for Canceled Priest plays him. Okay. It is on the record.
We got to get this guy involved. He is phenomenal, and he's working like 100 more than I worked as a lawyer in a law firm.
Wait, so Rundus was a lawyer in a law firm, looked at the Pious Pelican Plus and said, this is a great idea, and 1/3 of all the people working for it have already left. I almost wonder if he was a really bad lawyer now. So now all we need is $100,000 to $150,000 more money, and then we would be set. Rundus is a guy who is very fundus. Yes.
Not that many, 20 or 30 people to sign up as members of our Holy League, gives you lifetime membership. You'll get free access to all those online courses once we can get Pelican University built. We need increase in monthly subscribers. If we can get through that, we can.
This sounds like Timothy Gordon, by the way. He's literally said the same thing. Hey guys, if you click on the button, go down to, and then we can get more stuff out. Hmm? He's like 24 years old. He's not an old-time podcaster. He's a 24-year-old who never went to college and doesn't know anything until he crashes out. Ah!
Launch Pelican University.
Yes, the Holy League. There it is. We have it. Come on, Epic Pen. The Holy League. When you give $5,000, the Spanish beat the Moors. And the Moors are like, no, not the Holy League from the Pelican. And the Spanish were like, caca, caca. And they ate the Muslims. And the Muslims were like, oh no, we was defeated by the cacas. Oh, yes, this is the Pies Pelican Plus plan. A little reminder that Tom Woods, that rat, launched a program like this over 10 years ago, and like every single course was made by a PhD. No, he was homeschooled, and he's very annoying. We know all about him. Yeah, Lepanto. Lepanto is an institute run by that guy named Michael. Anyway, Tom Woods did the same exact program, and it's cheaper than Pies Pelican. So if Pies Pelican Plus buys Liberty Classroom, you pretty much have all the knowledge in the world. Yep, that is what we are saying. Just buy a subscription. You won't need to go to the market. You'll have everything you need. This is what Pies Pelican Plus promises. If you buy a Pies Pelican Plus subscription to the holy army of the Pies Pelican pioneers, you never need to leave your home. 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
You'll have everything you need in this one place for one lifetime membership or one monthly subscription that is half the price of Netflix.
Yes, it's half the price of Netflix. You can get Korean soap operas on Pies Pelican Plus. What? What? Why would you buy Pies Pelican Plus when you want your Korean soap operas?
I will be the first to say, though, if there are two vocations that are very similar to each other, it is bartending and the priesthood. I will tell you that. It's not the drinking part, it's the counseling part.
Why go to the Catholic Church when you can go to a bar? It's like the same thing. Isn't that wonderful? I always pray for my enemies. It's in my intentions for my daily rosary. I say, please, dear Lord, make Abaddon pay all the people all their money. And may the swift fist of justice come on his head. Ha ha! That's what cities think, right? No! That's what I think because it's funny. Come on. Ha ha ha. What? What? These comments. Anyway, that's the show for tonight. Thank you all for coming. And we'll do the wolf pack because no one escapes the wolf pack. The wolf pack. No one escapes us. We win all the time. It will never stop us. And that is the end of the show. Thank you all for coming. God bless you. Have a good night. Remember to pray rosaries for the conversion of Pies Pelican Plus to Catholicism. Good night. Good night. Go away. Go away. Good night. Good night. Let's play some more music. This is the good night song. This is where we say good night to everyone. And we say, oh, I love going to bed. Going to bed's the greatest thing ever. And I can wake up tomorrow.
Can we just pray for this guy for real?
Oh, let's pray for each other.
My wife worships me!
What? No way! That guy's wife worships him. Good night, everyone.
I humbly apologize.
I humbly apologize.
That's happened. That's happened.
Do you know what this podcast smells like?
Smell it? Smell that? Yeah. You know what that is? You know what that is?
Fish. Fish.
That's right. End of stream. End of stream.